to Glorious Botafogo, your number one source for fucking depression in English. Welcome back to the GB podcast, episode 5. First things first, apologies for missing the last couple episodes. We was going to do one a couple of weeks back, and Pedro couldn't catch a couple of the games. And last week I actually came down with cold, I had sickness. And then I thought, we'll jump on, we'll have a good result today, because last week's result, away to Barcelona SC, they've always been an awkward team playing the Libertadores like that. We thought we'd bring them home and get the job done. And in typical Botafogo fashion, we absolutely bottled it. I was hoping to come on and we can talk about some of the positives, some of the younger players, the fact that, we just won the Taça here. I know it's not the crown jewels, but it's something to shout about. We managed to get through Boavista, and we got through National Potosi. That's the one we didn't cover. And a whole year without continental football, Pedro. I don't even know what to say. I'm fucking speechless. This is the biggest reality check of them all, mate. I mean, just take it away. Like, how are you feeling? It's gonna be a hard.
I'm glad I recorded an episode before. I'm glad I recorded an episode before this, because even my wife texted me. She's like, "Can you stop yelling? Can you stop cursing? Can you stop? Like, you're being really loud." And I probably have to go say I'm sorry. And honestly, I spent, the whole 20 minutes or whatever it took me to record and edit the episode. I spent about 10 minutes just cutting out curse words from the episode, because I didn't want to get not demonetized. I didn't want to get the video striked by YouTube or X for the amount of curse words that I use. I don't think I've ever been this mad at a match in a long time. I think, I don't know, I almost feel like an extreme shakeup needs to happen. Something needs to happen, because this is not only on, obviously, the players, the one that are on the pitch, but some of those players, is not their fault that they're on the pitch. The fault is the people that have signed them. Players like Nathan Fernandes, for example. What is he doing in this club? What is he doing? I don't know. I don't know what he's doing. Mateo Ponte. I don't know. Newton has his ups and downs. Jordan Barreira was okay. Tuco Correa. I do not understand what this man is still doing in this club. For the amount of, he has the highest salary of them all, of every player on the club. He has the highest salary. I think it's 1.7 million reais a month to do absolutely nothing. Nothing. What did he do today? Nothing. So I don't understand. I mean, kudos to Bastos, Barbosa, kudos to Danilo for trying, and Mateus Martins, bless his heart, as limited as he is, he at least tried today. But Arthur, both Arthur, right winger and striker, I just don't know. I mean, he had a couple of good headers. One went really close, and the goalkeeper made a really good save. And Tuco Correa just got a premium pass from the monthly payments he makes to the supporters fee. He got to watch the match inside the pitch today. It's really cool that supporters of the club get to see the match from the pitch. Actually play, because Tuco Correa got the premium package. That's what he did today. He just watched the entire match from the pitch. It was great. I wish it were me. I wish I was there on the pitch. I don't pay the premium service though, so I guess that's on me.
Mate, it's I mean, if we just start from top to bottom, or bottom to top in this case, 'cause I'm going to start off with the goalkeeper, Leo Linky. Now, obviously, it's not his fault that we went 90 minutes without scoring a single goal, but it's like, are we going to sign a new goalkeeper here? Because we are pushing the boundaries. I know Neto's supposed to be leaving. The defence, other than Matthew Ponte, I mean, fair enough, the defence. I mean, do you know what? First things first, fair play to Barcelona SC, man. I mean, they're a really well compact team. Fucking brilliant goal they scored.
Their goal was great.
the goalkeeper got man of the match. My goalkeeper for them was Valencia at fullback. I thought he was bloody excellent. They've got a really good defence, so fair play to them. They deserve to go through. They're going to cause issues in the tournament. We know that they're a good team. Fair play. Let's just get the salty cobwebs out of the way, man. But the first thing, Botafogo, man. This is a Botafogo podcast. What the fuck? Right after the game, I'm thinking maybe this is the reality check that Texter needed, because he talked a good game before. Anything less than competing, there's no excuse why Botafogo should be up there. And in all fairness, he has brought a few players in, but let's not excuse the fact that the start of the season, much like last year, complete mess. And Matthews Martins did try, man, and I feel like, but the thing is, he slices too many balls when he's up front. I mean, I know Martin and Selmy. I'll get onto him in a second. Believe me. He was much more effective when he was brought out wide and into the wing back area. But when he started the game as a centre forward, the guy does not. I've just accepted this now. The guy does not and will never have the composure and the know-how to play as centre forward. I do think when Artur Cabral came on, he did make a difference in terms of hold-up play and his overall centre-forward play, and he's still not fully fit, so I'll leave Artur Cabral some slack for this game. As for the other Artur, useless. Absolutely useless. The patience is almost dead. I think tactically, I'm not one to hammer in on team selection. Like, anyone who knows me, you can go back and any of my previous podcasts I've done in this show, over particular shows. I'm not the one to bang on about team selections, but I do think that Jordan Bahia on the right side. Not that Bahia had a bad game. I thought he was okay. But like, you've got Vijalba on the bench who offers more of a wide threat, who likes to take on his man more. That would have offered a bit more dynamism in terms of opening the gap. But I'm not going to go in on that for too long, because let's get one thing right. Even if I think even if he went out there and he picked Vijalba and offered more of a wide threat up against their fullbacks, who were phenomenal today, I still don't think we win the game because it's too static. The way we're coached just seems too static. And I need to genuinely question Martin and Selmy now. He's not the first man I'm going to be looking at. Like, he's not one of the first few people I'm looking at for a result like this. But with all due respect, you've been brought in and we was advertised your tactical versatility. So let me just ask a question right here, Pedro, before you take the floor from me, because I'm gonna lose my fucking shit. Right, Ponchi came off with an injury, of course, and he brought Joaquim Correa on. So he's changed the system 4-2-3-1. And I'm thinking, it's a bit odd to change your formation like 34 minutes in. That's a bit odd. But then I thought, all right, maybe he was going to do it at half-time anyways, and then an injury occurred, so he thought, I might as well do it now. All right, fair
Was
enough.
it an injury for Matteo Ponchi?
Matteo Ponchi. Well, he came off limping, so I assume so. And then...
Because he went straight to the dressing room after when he got subbed out. He said hi to everybody on the bench, and he went straight to the dressing room.
I didn't see that, I can't lie. I was looking at my phone.
Yeah.
I was too busy looking at my phone, looking at a tactical change. Well, do you know what,
So, I don't know.
We'll get on to that. I hope you touch on that a bit more then, because that's interesting. But all I know is that he come off, and Joaquim Correa comes on. He's immediately changed the system 4-2-3-1, and I've gone. I would have waited till half time to do that, but all right, 30 minutes, whatever. And then 45 minutes when we come out for the second half, he subs an Artur Cabral for Bastos, and he changes back to the 3-4-3 again. Well, what's the fucking point in changing it in the first place? You just flip-flop in 10 minutes' time. What was the point? And like I said, even if he made the necessary change of bringing Vijalba in earlier in the contest, right? Way too static. Do you know the amount of times Danila had the ball deep, Newton had the ball deep, Barbosa tried to bring the ball deep, and you're a coach, Pedro, do you know when your midfields and your fullbacks start running inside and outside and it pulls the defensive line apart to create gaps? I saw zero of that. Zero. We could have played for another 9 hours, we wouldn't have scored. So where is the coaching here? But then obviously the main protagonist.
That is precisely what I asked in my video. Precisely. Where is the coaching here?
Yeah.
He's been here in the beginning of the season. So what has he done? Where is the coaching? Like, and if the players aren't, responding well, then why are you still trying? Do the season perhaps another way, playing with your 4 in the back, and try to do the best you can with the 4 in the back. But if you don't have the players to play the 3 backs and the 2 full backs, then don't do it. It's just as simple as that. And then in the middle of the season, when we make some more signings, you can try to see if it's going to work out, but play the season like this, and then next season you can start with the three in the back. Whatever. You've been here a year. Some of the players are getting it. You buy new players to come in and play in your formation of choice. Okay, but it's just clearly not working. Like that game against Cruzeiro was just a fluke. That's really what it was. It was just a fluke. I mean, the team played well, but it's like really, I don't know if it was us or it was just Cruzeiro that was that bad.
I wouldn't call it a fluke, Pedro. I'll just call it more of a blip because I thought the way we executed the game plan to a T was fantastic that game. Let's not get. I don't want to rub that away, but I think it's just more Cruzeiro's cowardness. And I did bring that up right after in the podcast following that if we play a team like Fluminense, as we saw the very following match week, that actually plays more forward and plays more in transition and they're looking to hurt you. Then like even Barcelona, who came here, and let's be honest, they executed a game plan. They came here and said, right, we're not going to play football at Nino dos Santos on this pitch away from home at a full crowd. We're not going to do. We're not even going to try, right? But when we do have the ball, we're going to be ambitious. We're going to stay compact, and we're going to flood the box every single time we had the ball out wide. There was like 2 players at most in the box. Artur Cabral being one of them. And then whoever the winger was who playing on the opposite side, be it Montoro or Bahia. And this is exactly why. I'm sure you listened to my last solo podcast. I was putting Martin Anselmi into question. And this was not me saying I want Anselmi to go. And this is still me not saying that Anselmi... It's still not me saying Anselmi needs to go, to be honest, because I do think that genuine question marks on this manager needs to be raised. But I'm not going to shout the guy needs to be out, see you later, go. Just because it is... If people want to scream that, I understand, because this is a disastrous result. This is the most pissed off I've been for a Botafogo result since, I don't even... Honestly, you'd have to... A long time, put it that way. A long time.
I mean,
I don't even know where
15 matches, 6 wins, 2 draws, 7 losses. I mean, Artur Paiva was fired for much less than that.
It's not good enough. Not good enough, man. And I mean, like I said about the tactical flexibility, like you say, if you've not got the players, I mean, in all fairness, like we do. I'm sure we will have the players now, because I brought up the question mark of how do you fit Danilo and Medina, because I did a bit of scouting on Medina. I don't know how he fits into a midfield two with Danilo. If he's got just Bastos covering him, but you know when Kiao Pantanal comes back, that will be. And even he's not going to be back for a while. But then obviously we're going to send Ferharasi as well. He can slot in there. So I think okay, all right, fair enough. We've got a defender now who can swoop into midfield and offer that support role. So all right, whatever. But like it doesn't invalidate your question, Pedro. You know for a fact we've not got back 3 defence. Why have you been playing it for two fucking months?
He pulled out Bastos and left Newton there, or Barbosa that had the yellow card. I just don't understand some of these substitutions.
Well, again, that was him pulling Vitinho out to. I mean, I could understand what he was trying to do. Not that I supported it. I could see it a mile off. What he was trying to do, because by doing that, he'd have to bring Vitinho into the centre back role so he can make the underlapping runs. Because, like I said, the lack of movement in the box. I'm sure Anselmi could have saw that just as much as I could, right?
And I just saw that Anselmi couldn't give the post-match press conference because he got a red card.
Yeah, he got a red card at the end of the game. Yeah, he did.
So it was the assistant that had to give the press conference. So I'm gonna watch that. But what's the point? It's like watching the substitute teacher give the lecture.
Yeah, I mean, there needs to be some pressure here, because he came out adamantly the other week, and I backed him. I supported him. Pressuring the board after the Fluminense game that we cannot sell any more players. We need to build a squad. They need to pull the finger out their arse, and I was right behind him. But you had more. Look, I know that a lot of the players we've got some injury problems. Like Artur Cabral was brought onto the pitch whilst he was still recovering from an injury. I get these circumstances, but even still, the first 11 and your subs bench, right? How is that not more than enough to get through this game? And then this is why we need to start worrying now, because we're going to have more players come through. Junior Santos will just come through. Like I said, you're getting Christian Medina over the line. Like I've just, there's so much that's happened in the last couple of weeks in terms of transfer activity that we can talk about. That's positive. Okay, maybe we're turning the switch now, because when you look at the depth, I'm sorry, Pedro, but in defence, Barbosa, João Pentelado to come back, Bastos. Ferrarasi, Bonti Vitinho, Teles, who just sound like João Hernandez. In midfield, we've got Danilo, Alain, Wallace Medina, Newton, Eder Nilsson has just come in. Then in the forward players, Montoro, Martins Barreira, Rodrigues, Arthur Villalba Cabral, Junior Santos, Chris Ramos is to come back. Correa is the highest paid player. You cannot tell me this squad I've just read out to you, right, it's not good enough to be... We've not got a God-given right to win every game. I'm not saying we're going to win the title, right, but there's no excuse. What? How can I read that team out, that squad out to you, and say that's not good enough to at least compete, ask a couple of question marks at the top of the table? And we look miles off it. We look fucking miles off it. That's the problem. So there's been provided players now. And we really need to... There's question marks on whether this is sustainable. With the money the money we are paying for these players, I do apologise. I can barely get my words out half the time. I'm that pissed off. The more I think about this game, the more pissed off I get And the main protagonist as well, John Textor, even though I've just backed you a little bit there because, all right, okay, you've brought some players in, all right, good for you. Right. Why was we in a transfer ban for the first month? Why are you saying all this shit? Why are you neglecting? Why are you coming out on Botafogo TV and saying, oh, look at the UK government website. I'm still the chairman holding of Eagle Football. No, you're not anymore. No, you're not. That flip-flopped after a week, mate. So what's happening with you? When you talk a good game about wanting to compete, I don't doubt your heart's in the right place, to be honest. But is it just an act? I'd like to think with the amount of time you invest into this club, do you actually understand what you're doing? Are you cutting your nose off despite your face? Do you know how to run this football club in a sustainable manner? You're going through a different approach, which a few years ago it was right, we need to buy the top players. We need to buy Savarino, Almada and all these players. And we need to cut throat, go for this title. You're going through a different approach to signing younger players and building the staff. Yeah, all right, fair enough, right. But why is it such a fucking mess?
We're here to make dreams come true. Tristan, don't you know that? We're here to make dreams come true. We made John's dream come true. He's playing the Premier League now. He's a happy man, so we're happy. We're happy for him. We're Thiago Almada. We're making dreams come true there. I'm happy. Luis Enrique making dreams come true, playing in Russia. We're making everybody's dreams come true, man. And at the end of the day, that's what really matters. At the end of the day, that's what really matters. Tristan, come on. Tristan, please. Be reasonable here. At the end of the day, that's the only thing that matters. Is that we're making these players' dreams come true.
I'm gonna smash this fucking laptop up, bro. What you?
Forget about the titles.
I can't do this shit, man.
Tristan, forget the titles. It's all about the dreams. That's it. This Botafogo is the Make-A-Wish Foundation. That's what we are.
He won a couple of titles, and now he's playing a board game of Monopoly with his co-investors. What is going on? What is going on? Seriously, man. This is fucking, oh my god! Like we're sitting here with let's be honest, like no top quality established goalkeepers. We still need a centre forward. As much as I think Cabral's done okay in a few games he's appeared. It's just god, bro, I don't even know what to say, man. There's a whole year without Libertadores football, no continental football, just Copa do Brasil and Brasileirão. And you're talking about you should be competing up there, or we're not even in the biggest competition in South American football. And when you look at our wage structure, like you fired 30 fucking people from top to bottom, like behind it, like start like Casapa. Just you released him, and he was the one bit of stability we had in the club in terms of coaching. And they said, yeah, we're going to reinvest 10 times more of that money to Joaquim Correa. I could have stepped on the pitch and done a better job.
We lost the spot in the group stage. And we've lost the trust with the fans, and we lost the control of the players all in one night. Just one. But this is
to make it worse, Pedro, we're a much less attractable club now. So if you want to get a centre forward and a goalkeeper, there'd probably be a few goalkeepers out there saying, if another team, for fucking Mirassol, if Mirassol come in for a goalkeeper, a centre forward, we're looking at, they're going to look at it and say, well, you're not playing Libertadores football this year. I'd rather go join Mirassol with Rafael Guanais a manager that they've got in the second year in the bounce now, who are looking like we can't even when we're getting sidestepped by fucking Mirassol. John Texter, this is bad. This is bad. There's going to be players that we might get linked to in the final coming days of the Brazilian transfer window that will return us down, because let's be honest, this now makes us a much less of an attractive opposition. Thank God we got Medina through in the time. Why do I have a feeling that if this result happened earlier, he wouldn't have joined?
We're gonna have to wait for the middle of the season, the transfer window. That, you know, again.
Oh no.
Tex just said this, and it is true. We make the good acquisitions in the middle, but by then it will be too late. It'll be too late. It'll be too late. It'll be too late. We're already out of the Libertadores, right?
It's just reminded me, because you're true, and he is right. But it's just reminded me that let's not sugarcoat shit. Yeah, we're losing Danilo and we're losing Montoro in the European summer window, right? Let's not sit here and go, oh no, but maybe no. They're going, right? They're going, and they're going. They're going, especially now. They're going. And if we get anything less, then for combined, we should be getting at least $60 million from combined. Realistically, we should be getting more, up to 70, 75, easily. But anything less than that, and that's just ridiculous. And even if we get the minimum amount for them to, that's plenty to reinvest.
But the thing is, all these poor performances and losing these, slots in these tournaments, it does devalue the assets of the club, and those are the players. Who's going to want to take those players that can't even qualify for the Libertadores? I mean, we're going to lose money. You know, Danilo, we're looking at 2025. We have to pray that he keeps called to the national team. I think he will. For this match against France. I think he will get the national team spot, and hopefully he does such a great spot that he gets called for the World Cup, and that we can justify asking 35 million euros for a player like Danilo, because we're not going to keep him. Not qualifying for the Libertadores, we are not going to keep Danilo. We're not going to keep Montoro. I mean, we still have Chris Ramos in the squad. Like, we haven't even seen Chris Ramos, man. He's been injured this whole time. Tucu Correa, you know, Teddy's gets 1.7 million a month. Tucu gets 1.7 million a month. Artur Cabral gets like 1.43 or something like that. Like, too much, right? So how are you gonna justify keeping all these players on when you're not making the revenue that you would make with the Libertadores? You're not gonna make as much money in the Sul-Americana. That's not as much. So, like, we're looking for a really a rough middle of the year. I mean, I just don't know what else to say. It just doesn't look promising. And the only people we have to blame, again, it's Texter, is Alessandro Brito for making the terrible signings that we have made so far. I mean, look at Neto, even offering to pay half the salary for the goalkeeper. Corinthians is still not wanting to take the player. I mean, they do, but it's not worth it, you know? Like, we're trying to get rid of this player now. Like, we have him in our squad, and now Corinthians wants him, but I think they want us paying like 75% of the salary or something like that. And Neto's never been a goalkeeper really to be on the spotlight for any team he's ever played. He's always been the substitute goalkeeper. He did okay in the national team a couple of times, but he's always a substitute keeper. And we are suffering. We got eliminated in the Copa do Brasil last year because of Neto, and then this year we're getting it just because Leo Link is not up to par. It is what it is, and it's Texter's fault. I mean, at the end of the day, everything is his fault. So, and the thing is, I just don't see that we're any close to a solution on outside the pitch, which is something that I talked about in my video. Like, we're not close to like getting like a solution. It doesn't seem likely. You know, Texter saying Aries wants his portion, he wants Aries' portion. They want to buy each other out, and nobody's agreeing on who is coming out. So it just at a limbo. It's like a Cold War, and we're suffering because they're squeezing Texter out of money. So I just don't know, man. Like I said in the beginning of the of our discussion, I'm glad I recorded something before this.
It's just you don't know where to go from. I guess the only place we can go is dust off the cobwebs. Let's salvage what we can salvage. Because the thing is, there's going to be obviously there's going to be a World Cup break middle of the year, and if we go into that World Cup break and we're like miles off the league title, and could even be eliminated in the Copa do Brasil for all we know, then what rope do we have? We need to be as far as the top as possible while still competing for the Copa do Brasil at the very fucking least. And we need to show some signs that John Textor's got a bit of sustainable cash flow here to actually take control of the club, and he's actually got the right idea. And first things first, after this result, I backed Anselmi, and I'm still not screaming he needs to go right now, but this is the first time where you can ask legitimate questions from a corporate view and from a footballing point of view. Just like you had with Renato Paiva, a team meeting needs to be called, and we need to know, is this direction that we're going in? Is this the right direction? Do the players feel comfortable that they will get the hang of this? Because I don't know if you remembered, Pedro, but a week or two back, Anselmi made this statement, and I was actually going to elaborate this on this more in this podcast, but I can't even be asked anymore. But it's because it's just comical now after this result. Anselmi said with the younger players. And I assume he's not just talking about the like that players like Wallace. Yeah, he's talking about players like Matteo Ponchi and Newton, who like players who need to adapt to his system. I'm presuming he's talking about players like that, and he's saying that these younger players need to adapt. That's how he basically worded it, and because we can clearly see that they're not moulding into how he wants to play football. And it's like, do we have time to wait? At this point of view, do we have time to wait? Because there's less games now.
Speaking of less games, our next two are Flamengo and Palmeiras, by the way.
Oh, great. I knew Flamengo was our next game. I didn't actually look who was our next one after that. Oh, great. Fantastic.
So with that said, I've said this before in the videos. If you want to be a champion in the Brasileirão, you cannot afford to lose more than 6 to 7 matches. You cannot. You will not. You just won't. If you lose 7 times, you just won't. And that's it is what it is, right? And right now we have 2 losses. I'm predicting a loss against Flamengo and a loss against Palmeiras, and Martin Anselmi being sacked. That's my prediction.
I need to check the calendar because at the very least we'll have more time. At the very least, I'm trying to think of every
because that would be
we'll
5 matches. 5 matches in the Brasileirão, 1 win and 4 losses. He's gonna go. If he loses the next 2, I'm really willing to say that if he loses the next one versus Flamengo, he'll go. But I'm gonna give him an extra one because that's just how Textor operates.
Yeah, the games are 4 days apart, so it'll be unwise to sack a manager during that time frame.
So yeah, if he loses against Flamengo and then he loses against Palmeiras, I think that's it. I think he gets sacked. I just don't see how he will be able to sustain. And then you look in the calendar, we have Bragantino after that, Atlético Paranaense, and then Mirassol.
Yeah, I was looking at more that Bragantino game because that's where if we do decide to push the button after Bragantino, then there's a whole week to at least negotiate with a manager and get him on the training ground at least. At least
here's my thinking. I'm thinking that Texture, he gives Anselmi maybe even that Bragantino game, and if he loses that, then it's just really unsustainable. But in my opinion, it's got to be Flamengo and Palmeiras, and Anselmi has got to show work, man. He has got to show. I mean, it's just not. Yeah, because against those 3 teams, I mean, I can't even say Mirassol is going to be an easy game. It's not. It's just not going to be. They're going to be tough. They're going to be as tough as any other team in the league. So there's really no room to breathe. Like the water has already got to his chest, and he's gonna drown here really soon.
And this sort of backs my point up. That what I was saying at the start of the year, with the whole David Ancelotti thing. If we do end up parting ways with Anselmi, right, then this is not Ancelotti remontada because obviously I think he did okay. He had a couple of results and then some of his team selection left you scratching the head. But I could see what he was trying to implement with the play style, and it's one of them where because he came out and said, "Oh yeah, we're happy with this dynamic style of play," and this style of play we've got right now is anything but dynamic. So if we do end up parting ways with Anselmi, then what was the point in sacking Davide? What was the point? We might as well go into this season with a manager who had half a year of, half a year with the squad that he's familiar with, and then we build on what he wants. And what would have been the fucking point?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like I just saw a message from Jay. He's gonna be like a contributor to the channel as well.
Yeah, he was at the game.
He's been sending videos from the matches. Yeah, so shout out to Jay. And I said, man, what a shit match, huh? And then I guess he just got home from the stadium. He said it wasn't just a shit match. It was the match that ended our year because we just lost all the supporters. Yeah. He says, instead of the 40,000 that we had tonight, we're gonna have about 5K going to every match.
Yeah, and he's right. I agree. Yeah, that's exactly what I thought when I went for a piss half an hour. That's exactly what I thought. Yeah, he's right as well. He's right. Why should the fans give up their time and devotion to this shit? You know, the Nilton Santos is located in not an ideal place to get to in terms of the streets of Rio. Getting there, fucking sacrificing your weekend and your midweek and trying to get to that stadium every week. You know, it's a bit of a trek from where, because most of the people, not everyone lives fucking like a 1 minute walk away from the stadium. I've got people I know there, like family there, who live like 3 hours away from the ground. And I know someone who cancelled their tickets to a Bragantino game last year because we got fucked off out the cut by Vasco. You think they're going to put up with this nonsense? It's ridiculous. But anyways, Pedro, we're half an hour into recording now. I know you're on limited time, mate. So
yeah,
if we need to cut it here, then that's all good. But there's not much else we can really discuss. I mean, there's other logistics about like transfers.
I am predicting some sort of shake-up happening here pretty soon. I think something big's gonna happen here. I just don't know what that is yet. I just know that it's something big. I think either Texter makes a decision on what he buys or sells. If Anselmi's gonna get sacked, we even having players like Barbosa's renewal get stuck, and he keeps saying it over and over and over. It's not up to me. 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 So, I mean, something needs to happen here, man. And now just to close on this, in the Sul-Americana, the Sudamericana Cup, we're gonna be playing Brazilian teams like São Paulo, Grêmio, Santos, Red Bull Bragantino, Mineiro, Vasco, and now Botafogo. Those are the.
So just to clarify, we are in the Copa Sudamericana.
We are in the Copa Sudamericana.
Yeah, well, at least that's something. At least that. I mean, I don't give two shits, man. Like, it's the Libertadores I'm after. But,
yeah, but it's the Serie B of South America.
Yeah, I mean, at least it gives the players some extra games to keep them on the toes and stuff at the very least. So yeah, I mean, it's better than that than having no continental football. I didn't even take that into account.
If we win Sul-Americana Cup, which I don't think we have the squad to. We make it straight into the Libertadores next year, but it's still. I'm looking at
then we'll have a trophy
I'm looking at Grêmio. I'm looking at Vasco just reinforcing themselves up and down. I'm looking at São Paulo, even Mineiro, Santos. I mean, we're gonna have to play. It's gonna be tough, man. I just don't see it, but it is what it is, man. Let's see what the next few days will hold.
This is all we can say. We don't know where we go from here, but thank you very much for coming on today, Pedro. I know it's quite a bit short, but I don't think anyone wants to listen to us talk for Botafogo any more than 2 minutes after that result, let alone 30 minutes. So I'm pretty sure that's more than enough airtime for a lot of you. Hopefully next time we come on, we have a bit more of a lengthy conversation about something a bit more positive. Although, I mean, mate, do you know how bad that result? It's killed the club this year, club ambitions, and it's killed the desire from the fans. It might have just fucking killed this podcast as well. The fuck are we going to talk about every week for this shit?
Yeah, man, I don't know. I think the focus this year needs to be on the Copa do Brasil. I really do.
100%, all eggs in that basket, man. That's not 100%.
Let's just try to go for that one. Survive in the Brasileirão. Take match by match in the Sul-Americana and then focus on the Copa do Brasil. We need to win that title anyways.
Leave it on that, Pedro. That's a good note to end it on. Thank you very much for those who have listened this far. How you listened this far, I don't know, man. You deserve a Superman cape and a fucking coffee. See you all next week and hopefully a bit more positive.
See ya.
Vamos Botafogo. Fuck this club.